Good evening, Prashant. So it's a big day and gold is sideways. As you can see, this was our buying zone for today, but market could not push higher from here. Market tapped into this zone, but after that, it just became sideways. Not much volume in the market because this was the London session. Okay, so we've got 12 minutes now to wait for the news. So that's what we're waiting for. We have got multiple data over here. First of all, we have got retail sales, then we have got unemployment rate, and then we have got NFP. So multiple data, and this is going to determine the next move in gold. So that's what we are waiting for right now. And I was also waiting for market to, the US session to start today. And once, the news came, I wanted to come live, and that's why we are here. So let's see if we get any good setup today. I will share it with you guys and we can make some good profit of this US session. So our plan, if you have seen my analysis for today, it was very simple. There were two opportunities and both were for buying. First one was that we bought from this zone. Obviously, we had this buying POI which was created. This was an important one. Why? Because yesterday, if you look at the candle, then I told you the reason. It was very clear. The previous candle's low was taken. This was the previous candle, which was Wednesday's low. This was taken yesterday, and after that, market gave this displacement. And even though this displacement occurred today in the Asian session, this was a very strong candle, and this indicated that the buyers have once again come into the market in today's Asian session. And most of the times, the Asian session decides the movement for the rest of the day. So that's what we are waiting for, and market came down, tapped into this zone, and unfortunately market didn't really push. We don't know the reason, but once again, it was expected because it was a London session. But now market is moving because the news has already come. So let's see what the news is. Okay, so unemployment rate, we still don't know, but NFP is quite bearish. Expected was 58. It came out minus 92. It's very, very bearish for dollar. Unemployment rate is once again at 4.4%. So labor market is definitely taking a toll, and we can see rate cuts in the upcoming days. Okay, so let's see what market does. This will be very bullish for gold, and that's why I was looking to buy technically, and also fundamentals have indicated that now we can see good good drop in dollar because the rate cut can take place in the upcoming days, and we have FOMC in March as well. So maybe we see rate cut this month, and if that happens, then obviously dollar is going to crash. And if you just go to the dollar index, I'm pretty sure it's crashing right now, as you can see. So that's the reason that gold is pushing higher. And technically also, if you have been following me, you should know that we were looking for buying opportunities. So let's see now what happens. Definitely, I'm bullish in gold. I have been bullish in gold, and I've been very vocal about it that I'll be only looking for higher prices in the upcoming days. And that's what I'm still looking for, because the overall structure in the higher time frame is very clearly bullish. Which is bullish. Market tapped into this order block, and from here, market should now go for the last all-time high. And gold is going. Obviously, it cannot just go in one direction. It will give a move, then it will give a pullback, and then it will move again. So that's what market is doing. Daily is also bullish, but overall it's a very difficult kind of market structure to trade right now because of how the market has been moving. It's not a very clean kind of move. If you can see over here, market gave this high, then this low, then just swept out this high, and then another pullback. Here also market created this kind of massive confusion that whether market is going to drop after taking out this high or not. But still, I was bullish because of the structure, and the structure was a corrective structure, and I told you that a three-wave move can be seen over here, and then we can look for higher prices in gold, right? And after that, you can see market gave a new break-off structure, breaking above the last highs, and market, obviously there was the news of war, due to which market gave this gap up opening. After that, there was a massive liquidation taking out all the buyers, but still I was bullish. Many people were expecting that gold has already topped and now it is going to crash, but nothing that sort of happened yet. Market is still holding the last daily low, and I've been very clear about it. As long as the higher time frame structure shifts from bullish to bearish, we are not going to look for a long-term sell in gold. I cannot say that a bearish market has started. Many of my students, they were concerned whether market has given a drop already and whether market is going to drop, because I think there was a trend line over here which is broken. So some of my students asked me about it because they were also following, multiple, you can say, communities at a time. So they were expecting that market can drop from here because the other community members were saying the same thing. But nothing like that happened. And once again, you can see that market is just sideways over here, just ranging. There is no, you can say, impulsive move in the market right now. Yes, market dropped, but after that there was a pullback, and since then market is just over here. It's not going anywhere, right? It is not breaking any new highs, new lows, nothing like that. It's just sideways. So overall, the thing is that the gold structure is still bullish and we're still looking for higher prices. And today also we want to look to buy gold. So news has been very, very bearish for dollar, and this is actually a good sign for gold, that gold can actually push higher, because minus 92k is a very, very bearish thing. And I'm pretty sure that the Feds are going to look at this data, and the unemployment rate has once again jumped up to 4.4%. If you look at the previous data, you can see that it was around 4.4% around 2025 last year, but then with the starting of 2026, you can see January it came down. After that, in February also it was 4.3. March it was expected to remain the same, but it came out at 4.4%. So this is very concerning. This is clearly indicating that the current rates, they're too high for the US economy, and for that reason we can expect upcoming rate cuts in possibly the month of March. Previously, everyone is expecting that we can see a rate cut by June, but now looking at this data, it's pretty clear that we can see rate cuts much earlier than June or July. So in that case, definitely this is very bullish for gold, and gold is pushing higher. So we'll be looking for buying opportunities. Now the question is, what is going to be our buying zone? So to buy gold, we have to now wait for a new break-off structure, because we just cannot buy it like that. So we need to see a closing above this high, and then we can look for a buying opportunity in gold. Okay, but right now we do not really want to take any impulsive entry based on the news. I know many people like to trade news because of the volatility, but that's not a very that's very good trading, you can say, discipline. We need to be patient with our opportunity, with our trading, you can say, setup. So for that reason, we have to wait for market to give us a new breakoff structure, and only then we'll be looking for new buying opportunities. Okay, but for now there is no trade opportunity in gold. Yes, market is pushing higher. It is obviously the effect of news, but apart from that, there is nothing that we can do right now in gold. We just have to wait for gold to give us a new breakoff structure, and only then we can look for buying opportunity. We target there's relatively equal highs over here. Okay, so this is what I'm looking for right now in gold. We want to see a breakout structure above $5,144, which was created in today's Asian session. And once that happens, then we can look for a new buying opportunity. But right now, obviously, you cannot just try to chase the market. So don't do that, because there was already a massive push to the upside. So the buying has already taken place, and now it's a good, you can say, it's a good time to trap all the new buyers who will be FOMOing at this level. So those who will buy at this level, obviously they're going to get FOMOed in, and their stop loss will be somewhere around here, and market can definitely come down and reprice this breakout to the upside. So this is not a point to enter. This is not a price to FOMO in. So just wait for market to give a pullback, and then we can look for a new buying opportunity. Okay, so you do not have to FOMO. I know people likes to FOMO in because there is excitation in that. I know many traders are there right now who are live, and they're maybe they have bought from here, or whatever they have done, they've sold, or whatever they have done, they're trading the news, or trying to trade the news. But news is always something that you cannot trade from beforehand. You have to wait for the news to come out, and based on that, based on the implication of the data, you have to you have to understand what can be your next move. So right here we have got this breakout. So this was technically a very nice breakout, but once again, do not enter right now. Wait for market to give a pullback, and then you can look for a new opportunity, because now 5 minutes have turned bullish. You can see we have got a market structure shift over here. This was the last low, a high, and then market created a new low to sweep out this last low, and after that market gives this breakout. So this is a 5-minute breakout structure, not a breakout structure. This is a market structure shift. The structure has shifted from bearish to bullish, and now once we get a pullback to this last breakout level, a test, we can look for a buying opportunity from this zone, and we can target this high according to the structure. Okay, so wait for market to give a pullback, and only then you can look for a buying opportunity. And also to tell you from where this buying is coming from, so this buying is actually coming from this order block. You see this 1 hour order block candle. So this is the zone from which the buying has come, and not a single candle closed below this candle's low, which is indicating that the buyers are actually waiting for the news to come in. And once the news came, the buyers came, and the market pushed higher, gave this market structure shift. So now we are looking for higher prices. There are two ways in which you can look to buy gold. Either to be on the safe side, you wait for market to give a breakout above $5,143, which is the intraday high. Once market breaks this high on a pullback, you can look for an entry from this last breakout level. This is one way to trade for the safe traders. But if you want to take some, risk, in that case, you can wait for market to give a pullback to this last breakout level. And from here, you can look for an opportunity. Once market comes down, taps this zone, gives a reaction. From here, you can look for a buying opportunity. Okay, so these are the two ways you can buy gold. Gold is bullish. Market has tapped into the 1 hour POI, and from here market now gave us a market structure shift in the 5 minutes. So now the 5 minutes have also turned bullish in gold. So we'll be looking for buying opportunities, and like I said, these are the two ways you can trade. Either wait for market to tap into this last breakout level. From here you take an entry, or you can wait for market to break above this intraday high and then create a new POI in the 1 hour, and from there you look for buying opportunity. In both the cases, gold is bullish, and we're looking for higher prices in gold. Okay, so that's what I'll be looking for. That's the plan for now. And following that, if market is able to close above this high today, then this will be very good for the next week, because the next week, from Monday itself, we can look for buying opportunities. Okay, because the correction is already over. In that case, from the next week itself, we can look for buying opportunities in gold. Okay, so that's the plan. Now let's just wait for market to give a pullback, and then we can look for an entry. Okay, so Wanda is having some issues. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so we can see that gold is giving a pullback, which is a good sign. So we can actually look for an entry now once market taps the zone, this last breakout level in the 5 minutes. And from here, we can take an entry. I don't know what's the issue with Wanda. Wanda is always having some issues when there is a high impact new thing like that. It just crashes instantly. I don't know what's the problem with this. But anyway, it's a very good broker, and that's why I rely on it. Okay, but yeah, we can also follow these brokers like FXCM or FOREX.com. These are also pretty good brokers, and you can follow them as well. Okay, so Wanda is still having some trouble. So let's just focus on this one. It's the same thing. Market turned bullish in 5 minutes, gave us this market structure shift. So now once market comes down, taps the zone, we can look for a buying opportunity once market taps this zone. And from here, we can look for an entry. Okay, and we can target the last high, because we have this correction coming in. This is the structure, right? Market breaks it, becomes bullish in the 5 minutes. Now market comes down, taps the zone, rejects from here. We can look for an entry and hold till the last time. Okay, so let's see what market does, whether market gives us a pullback or not. We should, because even the retails knows, right, that they're going to, I mean, even the institutions knows that the retails are going to FOMO in at this level because this market has broken above with a massive candle. So the retails will be entering long at this position. So it's a good way to take them out first. And once market drops, retails will think, okay, so this was just a liquidity, and now market is going to drop all the way down, and then they're going to look for sell, all kinds of stuffs. They're going to look for sell over here somewhere, and then market will take them out as well. So it's the same stuff again and again and again every single time. Anyhow, so we now have to wait for market to come down, tap this last breakout level, and then we can look for buying opportunity from this zone. Okay, so let's look at Wanda. Okay, so there is still some issue with this one. 1 hour is working well, but the 5 minutes, 15 minutes, these are not working. So I don't know what's the issue with Wanda. Let's focus on this one. So in the 5 minutes, let's just wait for gold to come down, tap into this zone, and then we can look for a buying opportunity. Okay, so that's the plan. Let's look at silver. So silver is also given a very nice move, and yeah, so I remember that last time when silver was around here, I told you that silver was actually waiting for gold to tap into an important level, and from there we could have taken a buy opportunity. And you can see what silver did was silver exactly reacted from this zone, even though I did not really trade silver because I was actually focused on gold much more, because silver is much more volatile, and that's why the price action can become a little bit of headache sometimes because of this massive wicks that it creates sometimes. So yeah, so that's why I was just focused on gold and I tried to avoid silver. But anyhow, so silver moved as expected, and silver is actually tapped into a massive order block, is the daily order block, and from here silver has reacted. So silver and gold both are moving actually in the exact same way. Gold has also tapped a massive order block, and so did silver. And since the last 3 days, if you look at the candles, then these are exact candles that gold and silver both are creating. So this is clearly indicating that gold and silver are once again moving together. I mean, obviously in the high time frame they do move together, but in the shorter term, the gold silver ratio, they obviously tend to differ, and that's why we have a separate chart called gold silver ratio, which also goes up and down. If you look at it, you can see the volatility in that chart as well. But right now, the proportion in which gold and silver are moving, it's quite balanced, and that's why we see this kind of similar candles that both are forming, which is a good sign that if now gold starts to push higher, silver is also going to do the exact same thing as well. So silver is also very bullish for me, and I'm also looking to buy silver and catch a massive swing trade. And just like gold, silver has also created some POIs over here. Market reacted from it. But like I told you that silver is sometimes not very reliable. So what silver did is silver could not go all the way up to take a last low. Silver dropped once again. And yeah, over here, silver was just sideways for a couple of hours. And after here, silver did not take this low. So this is three-wave pullback, right? So this is a corrective move, right? This is not an impulsive structure. So this is clearly indicating that is not taken, and from here silver pushed higher, and after that silver created some new POI over here which it tapped into, and just like gold, silver was also sideways for a couple of hours, and now after the new silver is also pushing higher. So same story in both of them. And someone was asking, actually, can I trade silver on gold? Like if gold is moving higher, can I also look to buy silver? Then yes, definitely you can do that, but you have to consider a higher time frame from that. You cannot go to lower time frame like 15 minutes or 5 minutes to catch similar kind of moves in both of them. But if you consider a higher time frame like 4 hour, 1 hour, in that case definitely you can analyze one, and you can speculate or you can predict the movement in other. But it's better to analyze different charts individually, because different charts behaviors are different, right? So yeah, it's better. Anyhow, let's see what gold does. So gold is actually giving us a pullback, which is expected. So let's see if gold actually taps into this zone, which it should. And once it does, we can actually look for an entry from this zone, because now 5 minutes have turned bullish, and we can look for buying opportunity from here. So let's wait for gold to come down, tap into the zone, the last 5-minute breakout zone. Then we can look for an entry from this zone. So be ready to take a buy trade from this zone. Market taps here and gives a rejection, then definitely we can take an entry from this zone. Okay, so be ready for that. This will be our first buying zone. And once market pushes higher from here and gives a new break of structure above this intraday high, we can look for more buying. As market gives a pullback to the last breakout level, then we can look for new buying opportunities from this zone as well. Okay, so gold, according to me, is much bullish, and I have been bullish about it. I've been very vocal about it that gold will be bullish for me personally, and I'll be looking only for higher prices. So that's the update that I have in gold right now. I'm looking for higher price in gold, and yeah, things are actually looking pretty good. 1 hour has displaced, market came down to it, and then 5 minutes have turned bullish. And the news, once again, those who have not seen, it's very much bullish for gold. It's highly bearish for dollar index. Minus 92K is a very, very negative news, right? It's a very bearish data for employment. So it's a very negative thing, and the Feds are definitely going to keep their eyes on this one when they are going to decide the upcoming monetary policy. So you have to understand that this is a highly bearish thing for Feds that they have to consider. Apart from that, the unemployment rate is high again at 4.4%. So these things are clearly indicating that the current interest rate is too high for the US economy. Their labor market is getting affected. Okay, I'm not much of a fundamental trader, but these are very basic things about economy that you have to understand. Okay, so in that case, we can expect early rate cuts earlier than June. We can expect, I don't know when the next FOMC is. I think in March there is an FOMC, but apart from that, I don't know when's the next one. So yeah, we have to wait for that, but definitely we will see prompt action because these data are very, very bearish, and this is clearly indicating that the labor market is getting impacted. Okay, so let's see what market, let's see what the Fed does and how market reacts to this, because obviously this is very much bearish for dollar, and this is definitely going to bring some impact in gold because gold needed something, right? There was the news of war, which definitely created the up, but once again the liquidation was very quick. All the buyers who have bought after the last Monday opening, so they were already taken out, and after that you can see what happened was just became sideways, right? So many people were like, gold has become bearish and gold has broken some trend lines, so people are expecting a major drop in gold, all kinds of stuffs. But structurally things are still bullish, and that's the reason I've been telling you that I am personally bullish in gold, and I'll be only looking for buying opportunities whenever it gives a major pullback. Personally, I'll be only looking for buying opportunities. So that's the plan, and that's still the plan, and we'll be looking for buying opportunities next week as well. But before that, see a breakout above this high. This will give us a new breakoff structure in the 1 hour, and also market will tap into this order block, which will be the next major thing to watch. And once market disrespects this order block and pushes higher, then we can be sure that gold is ready to push higher, and next we can target this relatively equal highs over here. Okay, so it's a plan in gold. Hope it's clear. Hope everything is you can connect the dots why we're looking to buy gold. Technically, fundamentally, things are actually bullish for gold. Okay, so just because 1 hour has turned bearish, even I have admitted that yes, 1 hour is bearish, doesn't mean that the whole structure has become bearish and we can expect a major drop in gold. No, that's not going to happen. It's 1 hour, right? If the daily is bullish, weekly is bullish, the higher time frame is going to overturn the lower time frame, right? So you have to understand that. So the bulls, those who are buying, those who have bought from $5,000, from 4,800, 4,900, they're still holding their positions, and that's why gold hasn't really crashed that way. Yes, there was a massive liquidation after the war, but after that you can see that gold is just sideways. There is not much drop. Not a new break-off structure took place. If it happens, then definitely we can say yes, that it has turned bearish and gold can drop further to the downside. But till that happens, we cannot really assume that gold has turned completely bearish and we can start selling like that. Okay, so you have to be very careful. So gold has actually, you can see, gave this pullback that we expected. Now we want to see a tap into this zone and a rejection, and then we can look for an in from this zone. Okay, so once again, this is just a correction because the 5 minutes have turned bullish. So this is a pullback correcting this what happened over here, this massive green candle, the news candle. So this candle is being corrected right now. And once market taps into this zone, once market rejects from this zone, we'll be looking to enter from this zone. So once again, be ready to take a buy entry from this zone. Okay. So let's wait market to tap this zone, and then we'll be entering a buy position from here. Okay, so actually there was a low which gold has taken, which is fine. So inducement has been taken. So now sellers will enter the market. Like I told you previously, this is how market moves. It's very simple. So now the sellers will come in, they'll think, okay, so gold is ready to drop, and now they will keep their stop loss above this one, and those will be much more safe. They want to be safer side, they will keep over here. So once again, gold will push higher and take them out as well. So this is how market moves, guys. It's very simple. If you can read the mind of the market has an intent all the time. Market is not moving randomly. There is a proper intent behind why market is doing what it is doing. So you have to be able to understand the intent behind this. The intent behind this move and the intent behind this move. It's not just a random price action. Okay, there is a very clean and clear intent. Okay, so gold has almost tapped into our POI. We just need to see a tap of this candle over here, this last high. This is our breaker block. Why? Because market created this low, then this high, right? And then this low, right? So this becomes our breaker block, and after that market broke the structure to the upside. So this becomes our breaker block in terms of ICT. So those who follow ICT, you should know that. And along with that, we have got a fair value gap in front of it. So my students knows this very well. This is a high probable POI, a high probable mitigation block. So once market taps this zone, gives a rejection from here, you can definitely look to buy gold from here. Okay, but make sure you put a stop loss. Do not trade without stop loss, or don't do silly things like that. Okay, these are very basic stuffs. I don't want to talk about all of them, but yeah, put your stop loss, keep a tight stop loss. Once market rejects just below the candle, you put your stop loss, because this is the zone that gold needs to defend right now. And once market taps here, gold should once again push higher, because the 5 minutes have turned bullish, and now it needs to push higher. Okay, so let's see what gold does. So be ready for an entry. Okay, so gold has tapped into the POI, and now we want to see a rejection. Okay, so be ready for an entry. Okay, be ready for an entry. I would like the 5 minutes candle to close, but even in 1 minute, if market shows rejection, we can actually take an aggressive entry. So let's see, till now there is no rejection. We want to see a rejection candle being formed. That's very important. Till now nothing like that has happened, so do not go aggressively. Just wait for a 1 minute rejection candle to form, and only then look for an entry. Okay, don't be aggressive, wait. Okay, wait guys. See a strong red candle. Okay, that's not what we want to see. That's why we wait patiently, right? So we want to see a green candle. It's still fine. It's possible that the trend line is getting tested, and from here also, if market reverts, we can look for a buying opportunity. So till now there is no rejection, right? So we have to see what market wants to do over here. There is also a 5 minutes order block, so multiple confluences with the trend line, with the order block. So let's see, from here now gold needs to reverse, right? So this is already a massive push to the downside, and now gold needs to reverse from here if it wants to continue to the upside. So let's see if we see a rejection candle or not. So we will wait now. We don't want to get aggressive. We will wait for gold to actually break above this high. That's what we want to see now. Not just a rejection from this trend line or this order block. We want to see gold now reclaim this zone above in the 5 minutes. We want to see green candles being formed and close above this zone. This will be our entry. Okay, this will be our confirmation. Once that happens, only then we'll be looking for an entry stop below this low, and we'll target this high. Till then, we'll be just observing what market is doing. We're not going to enter aggressively. We'll just wait and watch. Okay, very important. If you don't have patience for your entries, you're going to take multiple losses. So you have to wait for market to give reaction from your POI so that you can look for a strong confirmation. So till now there is nothing like that. Market is very much bearish right now. Okay, so this whole candle has been reversed to the downside, that means that the buyers are definitely not in the market as we would have liked to see. The sellers have once again come into the market. In that case, we cannot really go for a buying trade right now. We have to wait for further price action. Okay, so we now have to just wait and watch what market did. That's why I told you very clearly when market created this massive breakout candle, I told you that do not buy over here, right? Because this is going to be a trap for retails. I know many retailers will buy here expecting that now the news was very negative, right? So now the market should continuously push higher, print green candles, back-to-back green candles, but that did not happen, right? That's why I told you, wait for market to give a pullback, tap into this zone because the 5 minutes after are bullish. And now if market reacts from this zone, we can look for an entry. But you can see we waited for the confirmation, but the confirmation did not take place, so we did not take an entry and we avoided a loss. So that's how you do. You have to be patient along with your analysis, and if market does not give you confirmation, you cannot forcefully take any entry. Okay, so market now comes down. We now have to wait and watch what market wants to do next. This was a very nice breakout. The 5 minutes turned bullish, but market failed to hold this zone. So this is not a very good sign for the bulls. So now we have to wait and watch what market wants to do next. Okay, let's look at silver. What's on? Okay, so silver has also overturned this push. Okay, this was the breakout. Once again, a breaker block, not a breaker, it's a mitigate. Yeah, it's a breaker block and a fair value gap. But once again, market dropped all the way down. So yeah, no confirmation in silver as well, just like in gold. So now you just have to wait and watch and see what market wants to do next, right? Because we cannot buy it from here because this is too much of a bearish presence over here. Clearly, it has overturned this buys over here. So those who have bought for the news candle, all of them have been taken out. All of them have been liquidated. So now you have to wait and watch what market wants to do next. Okay, so there was no confirmation over here. So our bullish thesis is not valid for now. So we now have to wait and watch what market wants to do next. Okay, this was our POI, but market did not react from here. So unfortunately, we did not get any entry. So we now have to just wait and watch. Okay, so seems like the 1 hour candle has closed, and this is closed with a massive wick on the upside. So this is not definitely a good sign for the bulls. We wanted to see gold continue higher, but that did not happen. So once again, this is not a very good sign. So once again, it's confusing what gold wants to do next, because everything was very clean over here. We have this 1 hour order block, 5 minutes became bullish, and we wanted to buy, but there was no confirmation, and market comes all the way down, and market gives a massive wick and a closing at this low. So this was clearly nothing but liquidity, which was just for trapping the buyers. Okay, so good thing is that we did not buy, we did not sell, we were just observing, because this was nothing but a trap candle, and this kind of massive candles, they are the ones that really blows the account of most of the retails. So good thing is that we did not participate in this candle. So whatever happened, okay, we just observed, so it's fine. So now we wait for clarity what gold wants to do next, whether it wants to drop further to the downside to take out the twisted low or not, or market once again pushes higher. So let's see what gold wants to do over here. So this is the order block, and from here I can see that gold is actually pushing higher once again. And let's see. It's possible that gold is actually trapping the sellers over here. It's very much possible, because this was a massive push. It trapped the buyers, and then it gave a massive pullback, right? Trapped the sellers. And now it can take their stop loss as well, and then it can push higher, because the 5 minutes, guys, is still bullish, right? The 5 minutes is still what? It is still very much. So as long as gold does not break below this low, the 5 minutes structure is still bullish. So I think we can actually look for a buying entry in gold, but Wanda is just stuck. So okay, so we'll just look at this one. We want to see 5 minutes candle. Okay, massive red candle closing and now green candle closing. This is a very nice indication, guys. So I think we can actually look for opportunities once again. So gold is actually very volatile right now, which is expected. It's NFP, right? So we can expect this kind of massive volatility. But yes, we can now actually look for a good push to the upside. If gold is able to close above this high, then we can look for a buying opportunity. So let's see if it is able to do that. And maybe now the news effect is over, right? So the NFP candle has played out, the buyers have been trapped, the sellers have been trapped, and now it's possible that it's time for the actual move. So now we want this 5-minute candle close. I told you, if it reclaims back above this high, then we can look for a buying opportunity. So it's possible that now the 5-minute candle actually reclaims back above this high. If that happens, we can look for a buying opportunity. Okay, so everything is live over here, right? This is not a recorded session or anything. So you can actually learn a lot of things even if you do not get to trade today. But I hope that we get a trade opportunity because the 5-minute is bullish. And now if market once again closes back up above $5,100. Now this is the most important level which is being played around, right? So this is the psychological level which gold is playing up, and so this level is the one. So now the bulls and bears both are fighting for this level. So if the bulls can defend this level and close above this level, then we can look for a opportunity. Okay, so keep that in mind. So let's see what market does. We have still got 1 minute left, right? To see a candle closing above this high, only then we can look for a buying entry. So the 5 minutes is still bullish, and as long as market does not break below this low, 5 minutes remains bullish, and it's possible that gold can once again push higher from here. But for that, we want to see candle closing above $5,100. That will be our indication that the bulls are once again back in the market. The news effect over, and now the actual move in the market can take place. Okay, and the rest of the New York session can also follow that actual move and give us a strong closing for today, which is also the weekly closing. So let's see whether we get an entry or not. The bulls are still definitely trying to defend this order block, and also most obviously this last 5 minutes low which it created. So the 5-minute structure is bullish. So this candle actually gave us a rejection after testing this level, but we want to see a candle closing to make an entry. If there is no candle closing, we cannot be very sure that we can actually take a buying entry, and we do not want to take an entry where we are not sure about something, right? So we have to be very clear and confident about our setup. So that's the reason that I'm waiting and I'm analyzing the market before entering any trade, before committing to a trade setup. Okay, so patience, guys. Patience is everything in trading. If you're not patient, then it's not worth it. You have to patient, wait, and strike at the correct moment. That's it, right? And once you take the trade, it's either stop loss or target. So the result is immediate, right? But which trade you should enter and which trade you should avoid, that's the important thing, right? You have to be able to divide and decide which one you should go with and which one you should leave. So that's the most important part that you have to focus on, because once you take a trade, either you make money or you lose money, right? But if you lost money and you knew that this was not a very good trade, then that's definitely very hurting, right? That hurts you mentally, psychologically, and yeah, you feel bad about it. Like you feel, why did you take this trade? You should not have taken this trade at the first place. So that's why we do not want to have that kind of guilt trip, So we want to be very clean and clear about our setup. And once we take the setup, we commit to it. Either it's a stop loss, it's a target. It doesn't matter. The result is not in our hands. We have followed the rules. We have followed all the mandatory, you can say, checkpoints that we have to before taking an entry. And once we do that, once we commit to it, whatever happens, that's completely fine. Okay, so that's why I'm just waiting and watching the market, and I'm also recommending you to do the same and not get very excited about taking a trade. Okay, so let's just wait and watch what market does. Our plan still remains the same. 5 minutes is bullish, and we want to see a 5 minutes closing above $5,100. That will be our trigger point for a buying entry. Okay, so this will be our buying, you can say, trade setup. Once we get candle closing in the 5 minutes above $5,100, and yes, 5 minutes is still bullish. So let's see. I think slowly the major US session actually hasn't started yet. The major inflow of the volume of the US session, it actually comes at 8 p.m. IST. Indian Standard Time, it's 8 p.m. So it's still 7:37, you can see. So there is still like 23 minutes left for that volume to come in. So I think that volume, when it comes, that volume, when it gets injected into the market, that's when the actual move will start to play in the market, because that's the time when everything starts to move the market. It starts to jolt down because that volume injection, it comes into play. So I think that hasn't happened yet. Yes, this was a news effect. Obviously there was good amount of volume, no doubt about it, but the major US session volume that comes after 8 p.m. IST. So that's what I'm waiting for. Once that happens, I think we can actually get the next move in gold. So let's wait and watch, and I'll be here till 8 p.m. and see if market actually gives us a breakout above this high. Then we can look for a buying opportunity, and according to the structure, this should be the obvious play, because this is how market needs to do and it needs to move right now, looking at the structure. So yeah, let's see what market does. So let's wait till 8 p.m. and by then I think we should get a good buying setup in gold. Or if market wants to go further, then maybe it is going to drop below this low. In that case, like I have already told you, we'll be focusing on this twisted low at $4,996, and then from here we'll be looking for a buying opportunity. Once market takes out this low, gives 1 hour displacement, then we can look for buying opportunity from here. But overall, like I told you again and again and again, you might be saying that, okay, I'm crazy because market is falling down, right? So why am I looking for buying? So as long as the daily stays bullish, I'll be only looking for buying prices. No question about that. Okay, so that's my personal preference, because gold is something that you cannot really sell in the longer term, and it has already dropped massively right after this gap up opening. So we can expect recovery in gold, and not just a recovery. According to structure, I told you the weekly is indicating that now gold should go for the last all-time high. So that's what I'm looking for. Yes, market is not going to move in one direct, very clearly in one single direction. There will be this kind of sidewaysness where gold will just trap the scalpers, the lower time frame traders, and then it is going to give its actual move. Now for reference, if I show you, then this was the actual kind of move, this kind of move that happened over here as well. You see what market did? Market came down. You can see it took out the low right on the left side, the first low on the left side. Now this is called inducement. Those who know about some smart money concepts, you should know this is what an inducement is. And just below this, we've got this order block which market tapped into, and then market reversed. So the exact thing we are seeing over here is market dropped. This was a break-off structure, right? Just like over here, this was a break-off structure. Market dropped, took out this low on the left side, inducement. Below this, we have got this order block, tapped to it, and then market displaced. But once again, look at the price action over here. Did market just tap into this and directly push to the upside? No. Just look at this price action. It spent so many days, I think more than a week. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So almost 9 days inside this range. This is the zone where most people gets confused, thinks that, okay, market is not able to push higher from here after tapping this daily POI. That means it has become bearish and it is going to drop here. That's the issue with the retail traders, guys. Those were short-term traders. They look at this kind of sidewaysness, this kind of range, and they think that this is because market is not able to push higher. There are no buyers in the market. So now it should drop, right? That's a logical conclusion. But that's not the truth. This is an accumulation phase, right? If you know about Dow theory, you should know about that, right? This is an accumulation phase. And that market gives a breakout. Then market corrects itself. Once again, market pushes higher. So this is basic price action theory. This is not something which is out of this world. This is very simple stuff. That's why I'm saying that I'm not bearish in gold. Just because market is not able to push higher after tapping this POI, market is able to directly push higher, market is sideways over here. What do the retails think? Okay, market is bearish, market is not able to push higher, the buyers are exhausted. Where should it go? If it does not go higher, it drops. Logical conclusion. But that's the fallacy. That's the wrong conclusion that the people make. It's an accumulation phase. Okay, it's an accumulation phase. And after that, market will expand. Market will come down again because market has created this daily order block. And then once again, market will push higher, take out this high, then once again come down, maybe tap into a POI, or also take out this liquidity, this last low, and then it will go for the last all-time high. So this is how actually market moves. If you understand this, then you won't have any why am I still bullish in gold. It's because of this. Okay, so anyhow, so okay, let's see what gold is doing. I think it is getting strength, which is a very good sign. That's what I wanted to see. So we want to see this candle close above this high, above $5,100. That will be our entry. Okay, so we've got 1 minute left for this candle to close. Let's wait for the candle to close. We want to see closing above this high, right? The bullishness can be very clearly seen, and we want to see a closing above this high. Once we have that, we can take a direct entry, stop loss below this low. If you just want to be more conservative, you can also keep it below this low, below the last swing low, and your target is going to be over here. And here also, if you want to be a little bit conservative, you can also book your partial at the last news candle's high at $5,130, and after that you can target the last high according to the structure at $5,144. Okay, and above that, as market breaks out, you can also look for new opportunities. You can add more positions, and you can hold the trade all the way, because after that gold has to push higher all the way, and like I have you, it is going to target this order block next, because this fair value gap has already been tapped. Okay, so the next destination is going to be this order block candle, which starts at $5,160, you can say. So you can target all the way up to $5,160. And after that, if market pushes further high, then it is next going to target this relatively equal highs. Okay, and after that, obviously the sky is the limit. Market has to push higher, and then all these highs, and after that the last all-time high. So that's for the next week, but for now this is enough. We need to see a 5-minute closing, which we don't have yet, but still it's a very strong bullish candle. But we still need to see a 5-minute candle closing above $5,100. So we don't have that yet, but we need to see for our entry. Till that happens, we cannot take any aggressive entry. But yes, once we see that, we can definitely take an entry, and we can hold this trade all the way to the mentioned targets. So now you just have to wait and watch for a 5-minute candle closing above this high, then you'll be taking a buy entry directly. But like I said, market is kind of stuck over here, and possibly market is waiting for the 8 p.m. to start. Like I told you, the volume injection to come into the market, and once that happens, maybe we see a breakout of this high, because till now the 5 minutes is clearly bullish. Yes, now if it drops from here and market creates a new breakout structure below this last low, then definitely this will indicate that the buying is weak and the sellers are still controlling the market after this drop to the downside. So in that case, we cannot look for buying opportunities. In that case, we have to wait for market to give us a new breakout structure to the downside, and then maybe we can take some scalp sell trades or something like that. But I'm not concerned about selling right now. I'll be just focusing on buying opportunities for now. And yeah, that's what I'm waiting for. So let's see if we get a confirmation, then we can take an entry from this zone. So this is how price action works, guys. It's very simple. Once you understand what the market, what the intent of the market is, it becomes actually very clear. Okay, so I hope you were having fun. We're learning a lot of things, I guess. And if you do, then definitely make sure to like this video and also subscribe to the channel if you're new. And also, if you haven't joined my Telegram channel yet, then make sure to join this. There I keep updating all the intraday moves in gold and silver. You can find the link in the description below. Okay, so let's see if market can give us a breakout above $5,100, then we can take an entry. And let's see, we have still got 13 minutes left for the 8 p.m. volume injection to come into the market. So if we get the breakout, then definitely we can make an entry. So let's see if we can actually get a buying entry today or not. I think it should push higher, but once again, like I told you, market is just stuck over here. Also, it's just building more and more liquidity, because after the news, those who have missed the news candle move, now they are waiting to take an entry, and maybe they're expecting, okay, gold has dropped and closed below this low, right, which is the last level, and tapped into this level, and after that gold is pushing downside. So maybe they will just sell over here, put their stop loss over here. I know many people do that. This is a very standard price action that people trade. So basically what they're doing is they're kind of impatient in the market, like because they've moved this push to the upside, and maybe they've also taken some stop loss here and there, maybe buying over here or selling over here, whatever it is. So they will be building more liquidity now. So you have to understand that market builds liquidity from the psychology of the masses. So here they'll be looking for a sell opportunity, and stop loss will be above this swing high, very clear. And obviously the institutions knows that. So it's a very good opportunity for them to be taken out and then market to push higher. So let's see. We haven't taken any entry yet. Definitely our bias is bullish because the 1 hour is definitely pushing higher, and there was a displacement, market tap into this order block in the 1 hour, and after that the 5 minutes has also turned bullish, and that's why we're bullish in gold and we're looking for higher prices in gold. It's that simple. So now let's see if we get a closing above this high, then we can look for a buy opportunity in gold. Let's look at silver. So silver is also doing the same thing. You can see this was the last breakout level. The 5 minutes have turned bullish after this. And let's see from which zone that silver is actually reacting. Okay, so silver has actually taken out the last low. Okay, so this is a liquidity play, so that's completely fine. And after that, market is trying to push and break out above this high, which was the last breakout level, just like. And here you can see that market tried to do so, but market pushed to the downside. This was a clear rejection. So now if market is able to actually close above this high, because 5 minutes is bullish in silver as well, you can also look for a buying opportunity in silver. If you are interested to trade silver, but I'm not very interested because yeah, my broker doesn't really have very good spread in silver, first of all. And also, like I told you, that silver is more volatile than gold. In that case, I prefer to trade gold than silver, but silver definitely outruns gold all the time. Okay, so let's see what gold is doing. So definitely the buyers are still trying to push higher, and we want to see a closing above $5,100. Okay, so if we get that, if that happens, then definitely we can look for a buying opportunity. You can see all the time market is coming down, creating massive wicks on the downside, again coming down, creating wicks, again coming down, creating wicks. This candle also, the sellers tried to come in, but once again created wicks, and it closed above at this level. So I think that's what market is doing. It is still waiting for the 8 p.m. volume to come in. Once that happens, then we can see gold actually pushing higher if it wants to push higher based upon our analysis. But if it wants to drop, that's also fine. We do not want to speculate what market will do or try to predict what market will do. We're just following the trails of the market, what market is actually doing according to the structure, right? So let's see what market does. We have still got 10 minutes left. If we get a closing above this high by 8 p.m. or just after 8 p.m. opening, then we can definitely take a buy entry. But if market is not able to break, then we can expect that gold will maybe stay sideways for some time, and then it will generate some more liquidity to push higher. That's also possible. But I think it has already got enough of liquidity because it has already trapped a lot of buyers over here and a lot of sellers over here. Now if it pushes higher, then their stop loss will also be taken. So I think it has already got enough liquidity. And once market takes this sellers out, those who have sold from this zone, I think it is going to move very quickly to the upside. So let's see, that's what I'm waiting for. And you can see that gold is actually trying to push higher once again, just trapping the sellers by creating the early wicks. But whenever it is closing, you can see that market is pushing higher and it is closing on the upside, giving wicks on the downside. So very clearly the bulls are over here trying to outrun the sellers, fighting with the sellers. And once that happens, once all the buyers come in after the 8 p.m. starts, in that case we can see an influx of buyers come in and the volume of buying come in, and then market can break above 5,100, and then we can look for a buying opportunity. Okay, so that's the plan, and let's see what happens. We have still got 8 minutes left. So yeah, let's just wait and watch what market does. Let's look at some currency pairs, what's going on. Okay, so silver is sideways over here. So like I told you, silver can also push higher from here after gathering some momentum, just like gold. Let's look at some currency pairs. Okay, so GBP I think has taken out an important low over here. So this was the weekly low, right? A pullback. and then market took out this high, and after that market has taken out this low. So now it's going to be very important for GBP to hold this level, because if it is not able to do so, in that case it can actually drop from here all the way down. At least okay, so this order block is already tapped, so maybe it will drop all the way down to this low, but for that dollar has to become very bullish. But I don't see the reason for why dollar should become that bullish looking at today's fundamentals. So let's look at that. Gold is pushing. Okay, gold is pushing higher. Let's see what's going on. What happened to the diagram, guys? Sometimes the brokers are, I don't know, trading view just, it's not very. Okay, let's see what's going on. Okay, it's back. Let's go to 5 minutes. Okay guys, it's pushing higher. We have got 1 minute left. Once this 1 minute candle close, I'll be actually looking for a buying opportunity in gold. And yeah, I'll be actually looking to keep a small risk on this one, because we have got an important POI over here, an order block, so market can react from here as well, so you have to be a little careful. But overall this is looking good. 5 minutes bullish, came down all the way, too much of a pullback, should have just tapped into this zone and reversed from here itself, but still it's fine, kind of fine. And so yeah, let's see what happens. We have still got 50 seconds left. We can take an entry once this candle closes like this. Stop loss obviously is going to be too much, so you can manage your risk accordingly. If you want to keep at this low, that's also fine. And yeah, according to the structure, this is going to be your initial target and this is going to be your final target. So here the stop loss, you have to see, it's going to be a massive stop loss, around $20 of stop loss. That's actually very huge. So make sure you understand how to manage your risk yourself. I'm not going to talk about that. So yeah, keep that in mind. So things are actually looking good. 5,100 has been broken, and now if this candle closes above, I'll actually wait for an entry. I don't know, where should I make my entry? Should it be a daily, direct entry? In that case, the stop loss is become too high. No, I think I'd actually, yeah, you can buy now. If you want to take a direct entry, up to you. But I'll actually like for gold to give us a pullback, little bit of pullback, and then I'll be looking for an entry. Okay, so around 5,100, that will be nice. But okay, I'll keep at this level. 5,103 will be my entry level. Stop loss will go at $5,084. If you want to be conservative, if you want to be aggressive, if you can keep just below this candle closing. But I think 5,083 will be fine. This is going to be the correct stop loss. Actually, it should be over here, the last swing low, but this is just going to be too much. So I don't want that to happen, because now market has broken above 5,100 after a lot of struggle. So now it should not come all the way down. There is no reason for it if it wants to push higher. So in that case, I think it should directly push higher. So in that case, I'll keep my stop loss at 5,083. That will be it. That's enough. $20 of stop loss, that's already too much, but still we have to keep this stop loss. There is no option. Okay, so this will be our entry at $5,103. Okay, so okay, I'm taking an entry, guys. I'm already taking an entry. Okay, because market has broken after lots of struggle, and now market can directly push higher. The volume is going to come in at 8 p.m. Remember, 3 minutes left, so market can directly push higher. So manage your stop loss however you want to, manage your risk however you want to, but I'm actually going for a buying trade. Okay, so I've actually punched my trades. Make sure you do the same. Market has broken this high after lots of struggle, after lots of sidewaysness, and now I think it should be ready to push higher. Okay, so let's see how this trade plays out, guys. We've waited a long time to take this entry, so let's see how this plays out. I think it should now go in our direction. So let's see what market does, and let me know if you have also taken this trade along with me or not. I've already made my entry at 5,100 and a little bit higher, $5,105. Anyhow, so let's see what happens, because market was actually creating wick, and that's why I took the entry directly. So that's completely fine. My stop loss is going to be at, yeah, $5,083. Yeah, that will be the stop loss. Okay, Okay, so let's see what gold does now. I think everything is indicating that gold should push higher. Everything is looking good actually for gold. So let's see what gold does. Let's see. Let's see. Okay. So I hope that you have made your entry, guys. Let's see if gold actually moves to the upside or not. It should, because the 5 minutes is still bullish. So yeah, I think it should actually push higher from here. Let's see what it does. Okay, let's see. Silver, let's look at silver. Yeah, so silver is also broken just like gold. If you want to take, it's completely up to you. You can take an entry, but I'm not, like I told you, a fan of trading silver that much because of my broker. The spread is actually quite insane. Anyhow, so okay, so I've taken the entry and mhm, okay, okay, I don't know what's the issue here. Okay, guys, hello. Let me know, guys, if you can actually watch me. I think there is some issue with the screen or something. I think you can watch me, right? Okay. Okay, guys, let me know if you have taken the entry or not. I've already made my entry and gold is actually pushing nicely to the upside. So I hope that you have also taken the entry with me. So let me know if you have done so or not. Okay, so let's see how this trade plays out. Okay, so we have bought gold after breaking out of $5,100. Our stop loss is at $5,083, and we're expecting gold to push higher from here. And the reason is very clear: the high time frame is bullish, and the 1 hour has also tapped into a major POI, and after that, it has given us a 5 minute market structure shift. Okay, lots of volatility. I told you 8 p.m. lots of volatility. You can see the kind of volatility that gold is showing right now. 8 p.m. has been, you can say, yeah, 8 p.m. has started, and you can see the kind of volatility that gold is showing, and it is actually pushing higher according to our analysis. That's a very good sign. I hope you have bought, guys. Let me know if you have bought gold or not. Okay, so gold is actually pushing higher. Okay, so the order block has been tapped. Okay, so I told you that there is an order block over here. There can be some reaction from here. So that's what exactly we see right now. Order block has been tapped. But once again, it should not be too much concerning. There was a reaction, but that's still completely fine. The 5 minutes is still bullish, and eventually it should push higher from here. So let me know, guys, if you bought with me or not. Let me know in the comments. Gold needs to push higher from here. Let me know in the comments if you bought with me or not. Nice, gold is pushing higher, guys. 50 pips running in profit. Let me know if you bought or not, guys. Oh, great, guys. 100 pips moving in profit. Okay, that's really nice. That's really nice. That's what I wanted to see. You see, guys, patience. Patience always wins. If you are patient, you can take the right trades. Okay, guys, I hope that you have taken the trade with me and you're making some good profits. Keep holding the trade. The wicks are completely fine. There are some PYs over here in the lower time frame, so there can be some reactions, and that's not a big deal. But yes, our analysis is correct. Market is trying to push higher. The bulls are back in the market. 5 minutes is bullish, so everything is lining up. So things are actually looking good. I would actually like to see on what's going on right now. Is there any news? I told you, right? Once the 8 p.m. starts, the market is going to become very volatile, and that's what we can see in the market right now. Okay, so nothing like that. So it's just the 8 p.m. volatility. Okay, that's fine. No problem with that. That's completely fine. Okay. Just keep holding, guys. Okay, so gold is actually very nicely pushing higher. And yes, there are some reactions over here, completely expected from this order block, but that's completely fine. It's just a 5-minute order block. And eventually the buyers will actually overturn this order block, and it will push higher. So don't worry about that. Gold is bullish in the 5 minutes, no doubt about that. And we have already bought. Okay, guys, seems like nobody have bought with me. Is it the case? Let me know in the chat if you have already bought or not. I've already bought, and I'll share the screenshot with you in a while in my Telegram channel. So make sure you join there. But I just want to, I'm just waiting for gold to actually push higher. This is not the move that I'm waiting for. This is just a reaction, nothing much. Now it needs to actually push higher because the 5,100 has been broken, and now the real volume has been injected into the market. So now the buyers should actually come in and they should push higher. So let's see what happens. My view is still bullish in gold, and I'll be looking for higher prices. No question about that. So let's see how this trade plays out. Okay, so let's see, guys. Okay, lots of volatility in the market expected. Okay, but my view remains bullish. So no question about that. I'll be holding the trade, and yeah, let's see what market does. Okay, lots of volatility. That's fine. Okay, so seems like someone have bought with me as well. That's a good sign. So just hold the trade. It should push higher. 5 minutes is bullish. Now it should continue. Market has broken above the 5,100 level once again, and the buyers are trying to hold this level, and we should see gold pushing higher, right? And the whole analysis was done in front of you. Why are we buying? What's the reason? Starting from the higher time frame, the daily. I also gave examples of what's the reason for buys, what's the specific reason why I am bullish in the longer term, and also the reason about this trade as well. So if you are not familiar with that, why we took this trade, you can actually go back and watch the starting of the session and see why did you take this trade and what was the reason for that. Okay, so let's see what gold does next. Our bias is bullish, obviously. Gold has stepped into this auto block and it is showing some rejection, okay, which is completely fine. And now gold has come down once again to test this last breakout level. And now we want to see gold hold this level. We do not want to see candle close below this low. That will definitely not be very good for us. We want to see the buyers once again push and give a closing above this high. So that is going to be very important for the bulls to keep the market bullish in the 5 minutes. Okay, so let's see. For now, the market has come down. So let's see what gold wants to do next. But according to the structure, gold is bullish and the 5 minutes is bullish, and that's why we have bought. So let's see what gold does. We can see gold is reacting from this zone. So maybe it's just a trap once again, just to trap sellers once again. You know, the sellers will once again come into the market thinking that, okay, gold is going to drop, stop us over here. So market is just generating liquidity right now. As of this point, it is just generating liquidity in buying, in sell, in both direction. Nothing more. It's not moving in any trending direction. It's not trendy at all. Market is just sideways and just generating liquidity, enough liquidity so that the next move can be a very strong, impulsive move in its original direction, in the direction that the market actually wants to go. So let's see how this plays out. We have already bought gold. Let's see what it does next. My bias is bullish, so let's see what it wants to do next. Let's see how this trade plays out. We've already bought, and stop loss is at this low, $5,083, and now gold needs to push higher. It can be sideways over here a little bit just to build more liquidity, generate more liquidity, but once it is done, it should actually start to push higher in case if it wants to go up, which should be the case according to the structure. The 1 hour is bullish. Market has given 5 minute structure shift, so now it should actually push higher. So let's see what it does. Let's let's wait for the trade to play out how it wants to, in whichever direction it wants to. And the result is obviously is not in our hand, whether it goes in favor of us or against us, we don't know. But whatever we have done, it was done with, you can say, good patience and good understanding of the market structure. So now let's just wait for the market to play out in the way it wants to. And yeah, whatever happens, I will share in my Telegram channel. If I take a loss or if I book profits, whatever happens, we will see. So that's it for now, guys. Silver is also actually okay. Silver has actually given us a closing, and silver is also dropped. But once again, as long as silver does not break below this low, it's not bearish. It's just sideways, generating more liquidity and nothing else. Okay, guys. So that's the update in gold and silver. Hold this trade. Let's see after the liquidity is generated, in which direction it pushes next. Okay, so that's the update for gold and silver. I hope it was a learning session. It was a fun session. And if you have taken the trade, then you can hold this with proper stop loss. Do not remove the stop loss if market drops. Don't do that. You have to put your proper stop loss and proper targets. Okay. So that's it for now. And for more updates, obviously, make sure to join my Telegram channel. You can find the link below in the description. And I will share, obviously, more updates as more price action takes place. But my view is going to be bullish for gold. Okay. So that's it for now. I will see you tomorrow. Till then, take care and trade safe.